What's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from DieselCrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. I'm currently messing with my sister right now. So she's always quizzing me about stuff from when we were kids, and I half time have no idea what she's talking about. So she sent me this picture of her new cat, and it looks like he's got a mask on over his face. I said, oh, what are you going to call him? Crusader? Avenger? Crewvenger? And she said that, well, she named it Kookie, or I guess Cookie, but it came through Cooler. I said, oh, Cooler like Dalton in Roadhouse? She goes, no, it's actually Cookie, but we should have gone with Cooler. And I said, yeah, you fucked up not going with Cooler. She's like, I'll talk to my son. And then she said at first this new cat hissed all day, all the time. So they were going to call it Puffy, like Puff the Magic Dragon. So I said, never heard of Puff the Magic Dragon. What's that? She goes, it was a cartoon when we were kids. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea. I go, just joking on that memory lapse. She goes, oh, thank God, because I'm sitting here saying, what in the fuck? All right, anyway, today we're talking about movies with pro wrestlers. And this comes from a question that Doug sent me. And I thought I forwarded it to myself. And I assumed it would be right on top. But I'm not seeing it. So I got to search for Doug. So hold on. Okay, so non-grip question. What former professional wrestler had the best favorite role in a live action movie, in your opinion? I'm including live action because while casting The Rock as Maui in Moana was a solid call by Disney, he's not on camera. And frankly, except for the Baywatch Strongman competition segment, his stuff kind of blends together. Hold on, dude. Whoa. Dude. The Rock is one of the best fucking actors that are out there right now. I don't care what anybody says. That dude is legit. Rock is the best pro wrestler actor ever. And like by far and away. Nobody comes close to The Rock. So blend together, bro. Come on, man. Like, dude's the highest paid actor. He's made like the most movies in the last 10 years, probably. Made probably the most money, and has been in there with other top actors. Ryan Reynolds, I mean, Vin Diesel. He's been in a tremendous amount of movies. That dude is freaking awesome. Ballers was a great series. We gotta watch how we're putting things here, okay? So who did it best, he says. Hulk Hogan in Rocky 3. Interesting twist in the series, but not my favorite Rocky movie. Bro, Rocky 3 is the best Rocky movie. Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, phenomenal. Doug, I love you. You're my boy. But you're literally taking a pitchfork and stabbing me in the throat right now. Mr. T played a good heel in it, though. Yes, you're right, he did. Andre the Giant and Princess Bride, classic movie that still holds up. Watched it with the kids at our local pool this summer as part of our dive-in movie series. So I've got some notes. I'm going to save my thoughts on Andre for later on. Jesse Ventura in Predator, awesome movie, awesome character, awesome lines. Roddy Piper in They Live, that fight scene between him and Keith David stands out. Dude, that is like obnoxiously long. I love it. Like, I think there's like 10 nut shots, and what is it, like a 5-minute fight scene? It's incredible. Reminds me of the chicken fights on Family Guy. No clue. Never watched an episode of Family Guy. Dave Bautista in the Marvel movies. I liked his character Drax. Guardians of the Galaxy was a pretty entertaining series. I haven't watched a Marvel movie aside from Deadpool since like the second X-Men movie. I got behind and I wasn't sure what order I was supposed to watch them in, and I didn't want to screw anything up, so I haven't watched anything since then. So I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was really jaded against Dave Bautista for a while, but the movie Army of the Dead with Bautista, in my opinion, makes him the second best pro wrestler actor in the world today. John Cena and some all right, so I took some notes, wrote down the actors that he said, but there's one glaring omission, Doug. There's one glaring omission from your email that I will be bringing up, and he's one of the best pro wrestler actors that's ever been, and we'll get to that. But without a doubt, the best pro wrestler actor of all time is The Rock. You can't debate me on that and change my mind. We got Hulk, Andre, Jesse, and Piper. Hulk is without a doubt the worst pro wrestler actor that ever got invited to Hollywood. I can watch No Holds Barred. He's not. I wouldn't really say it's acting. The stuff that he does is basically he's being Hulk Hogan, even though his name is Rip Taylor in that movie. I can sit through Suburban Commando, and I can only sit through that because The Undertaker appears in that movie. He has a couple cameos, like in one of the Gremlins movies. But other than that, the majority of his stuff, including Thunder in Paradise, absolute trash. Let's skip down to Andre. Andre is not an actor. I don't know how Andre finagled his way into The Princess Bride. That's a great movie, and I still love that movie, but I can't understand any of Andre's lines in that movie. How they didn't figure out how to get his English a little better, or to have him practice his lines. He must have been in such a hurry to get back and forth to his assignments from Vince McMahon. I don't know. I don't know what the excuse is, but it's unacceptable. They should have put someone else in there. I think Big John Studd would have been a better selection. Kamala would have been a better selection. Hell, I bet Giant Baba would have been a better selection. Probably could understand him better than Andre the Giant's marble mouth crappy talk. Let's go down to Jesse. Jesse is a phenomenal actor, and he's been in several movies. I believe he was in Demolition Man in some way. Running Man, I think, was his other movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But Jesse added to the Predator, the initial Predator movie. He made the movie better. So a lot of times when pro wrestlers appear in movies, they're more like a novelty act. Like, oh yeah, and there's a wrestler in there. But I think that someone could watch Predator and they would never know that that was just a professional wrestler that made it into the movie. I think they would say, why haven't I seen that guy in movies? I think I recognize him. Like, you know, I think they would see that, and his performance was of such a high level. I don't think anybody would think that was someone from another industry that made it into the movie. I think that they would think that was a seasoned actor who filled a role in the movie and excelled. I just think he did great. Roddy Piper did a bunch of movies. He's probably most well known for They Live, but honestly, I don't think his performance was out of this world. And I think if it wasn't for, I'm forgetting the director right now, but if it wasn't for the controversial topic of the movie, I don't think I don't think it would get much notoriety at all. I just don't think Roddy Piper was that good of an actor. I don't think he was that good of a wrestler, in my opinion, from 1990 on. Like, I think his bread and butter was being a heel in the 80s and earlier. And I think once WrestleMania 3 took place, where he wrestled Adrian Adonis, once he went away, he should have just stayed away. Because anything he did once he came back just paled in comparison to his work prior to that. And the movies are quite forgettable. The only one that is an exception to that statement would be They Live. Batista. I gotta look this up right now. Army of the Dead was one of them. But he just played in one in a cabin that I saw at the theater with my daughter. So we got to look this up because the name's escaping me. What movie was... No. Come on. What movie was Batista in with a cabin? All right, Knock at the Cabin. I absolutely love movies like that. It's like totally fake and ain't gonna happen. But I love movies like that. If I remember correctly, we were gonna go watch Cocaine Bear or something like that, and my friend Levi told me that it was garbage, so we had to go find something else, and Knock at the Cabin was at a theater, so we went and watched that, and that movie was fantastic. But one of the first movies that my daughter and I ever watched together, just me and her, was Army of the Dead. It wasn't the first movie, but it was one of the first ones. It's a zombie movie. And I'm telling you, that is one of the best. I've watched a lot of zombie movies, and that movie was one of the best zombie movies I've ever seen. I realize I'm talking about a small niche of all the movies that are out there, but I really enjoy zombie movies, and this one is just incredible. And I really suggest you watch it. I think Batista has turned out to be a really good actor. He's not pigeonholed into one type of role. He can take care of business in a variety of roles at this point. It pains me to see how much weight he has lost. I get it. He's over 50 now, so he's got to be aware of how much body weight he's carrying around for health concerns. And obviously he can't be taking the supplements that he took at one time at his age. He's got to think about longevity. But man, some of the pictures I see of him are just disappointing, knowing what he looked like at an earlier age. And but I'm looking forward to see what he can bring to the table in future acting roles, because I really like him. As far as John Cena, I am so jaded against him from his professional wrestling career. It's hard for me to sit through any movie that he's in. So because of that, I generally don't even watch John Cena movies. It even pains me. It kills me when he is the voice of like a car commercial. Like, it destroys me. It rips apart my soul. Nothing against the man, and tremendous respect for him for what he accomplished in wrestling. Tremendous respect for how much he's given back to the world with his Make-A-Wish activities. But man, he was shoved down our throats for so long in WWE that I just can't do it. I can't watch him. Now, we've talked about everything that Doug sent in. I want to bring up a couple other things. If you want to watch a movie with 3 pro wrestlers that did a fantastic job in their roles, you want to watch The Longest Yard. It's an Adam Sandler movie. It's one of the few Adam Sandler movies of the last 20 years that I can actually stomach. And it's got Bill Goldberg, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Kevin Nash. And they're all great. They're all fantastic. Great movie. I love their characters in the movie. Fantastic. Now, if we go from there, those guys were all in other movies. Kevin Nash has probably been in the most movies. I don't think it's any doubt. He's been in the most. But I haven't watched many of them. In fact, I didn't know that he was in as many movies as he was until I started watching his podcast on YouTube, which is called Click This. And that's one of the ones I watch every single week. I have not missed a single episode, and they've been on for about 2 years. So I encourage you to check that out. As far as Goldberg, I looked it up. He was in another movie called Universal Soldier: The Return. Didn't see it, so I don't know anything about it. Stone Cold was the other one that was in Longest Yard. And he was in a movie called The Condemned, and I really think this is like a sleeper movie. Again, totally preposterous, out of this world storyline. It's never going to happen. It would probably be cool if it did, but it's never going to happen. And basically, it's called The Condemned because these criminals are sent to an island, and if I remember correctly, whoever kills everybody else, like the last one surviving, like gets pardoned, and they can go back into society. So that's a really good movie. I enjoy it. And I think it's like a WWE film. So, you know, what can you expect from a WWE film? Speaking of WWE films, there's been all kinds of movies that have come out of their studio. I don't know if it's still active anymore. I know that Kane was in a movie called See No Evil. I don't think I've ever seen it. I know that John Cena was in a movie called something to do with a military guy. He was in the first one, and then I think The Miz took over the series. And I think Miz is one of the most underrated pro wrestlers of the last 20 years, probably the last 30 years. Phenomenal career, and he's actually a decent actor. I haven't seen any of those movies, but I'm told he's a decent actor. One more I want to throw out there. Horrible movie. Horrible movie. But at the time, this guy was one of my absolute favorite pro wrestlers, Ultimate Warrior. He is in a movie called Firepower. It was on like Showtime or something. I taped it. I still have it on VHS. I think I've watched it once. The movie is absolutely terrible, and I'll probably never watch it again. I just wanted to see the Ultimate Warrior in the movie, and I'm not even sure he's got any lines. I think he snarls and growls a couple times, but that's about it. I just wanted to throw that out there. Well, what I'm going to close on, I can't believe this man was left out of this email, and it really has me questioning Doug's movie selection, brother. I'm going to throw out 3 movies, and hopefully you know who I'm talking about, bro. Paradise Alley, 1978. Over the Top, 1987. Roadhouse, 1989. What's the common thread? Terry Funk, brother. Outstanding actor. Outstanding character development with this guy. Well, the truth is, I've never seen Paradise Alley. I've heard about it before. It's a Stallone movie. But I've definitely seen Roadhouse about definitely 30 to 50 times, if not more. Over the Top, I've watched several times. Terry Funk plays a heel in both those movies. I can only assume he plays a heel in Paradise Alley, although I'm not sure. I think he does an outstanding job in Over the Top and Roadhouse, especially Roadhouse. The man can't run. There's a clip where he's running, and he's got his like white cowboy boots on, and he's got a pistol in one hand, and he's running. And you can just tell his knees are totally destroyed. Horrible commentator. Horrible commentator. They put him in a commentator role in late, like around 89, 90 in WCW. Added nothing to the broadcast. They should have put somebody else in there. He did not do a good job. But as far as an actor, outstanding. Got one of those spots where you know, he's shooting a pistol and he's able to shoot like 20 rounds or something like that. One of those movie tropes that are always entertaining. And you know, he's got like a soft voice, almost like a high pitched voice, but the character he plays, it like still fits well in the movie. So Doug, you got to watch those movies if you haven't already. I'm going to assign myself to watch Paradise Alley because I guess I had forgotten that Terry Funk was in there. If you don't know who Terry Funk was, he was the brother of Dory Funk Jr. and son of Dory Funk Sr. And he was an NWA champion at least once. So right then and there, that's all the credentials you need as a pro wrestler to have been NWA champion before like 1990. So there are very few exceptions as far as pro wrestlers who were legit dudes, legit champions that were NWA champions. Tommy Rich, kind of questionable. Ronnie Garvin, kind of questionable. But pretty much everybody else, you know, they were legit tough dudes that could handle themselves if, you know, someone jumped in the ring or if someone in a bar challenged them. But Terry Funk was like just an outstanding wrestler, a little bit crazy style of wrestling, even in his early days, a little bit maniacal. And then later on, you know, he kind of jumped the shark, if you will, once his body started breaking down, and he wrestled forever. And I think we lost Terry Funk this year or late last year, which was a shame. I think he went through some health issues, which it's too bad, but phenomenal actor. Love those movies. And it's probably like when I said that Jesse Ventura just fits into the movie and it's like seamless, like Terry, not quite as much, but pretty good, and definitely nowhere near as masterful an actor as The Rock is. Like, I will watch any Rock movie that I can. In fact, the most recent one I watched was Central Intelligence, and phenomenal. He was just incredible. So a lot of people give him shit because he continues to stay big and hasn't downsized since the like early to mid 2000s. Like, he's been just enormous. But like, man, I gotta tell you, I'm not saying he's not on anything, but I don't know how old The Rock is, how much older he is than me. I'm 46 now. I can maintain muscle pretty good. I don't think The Rock's that much bigger than me. I think he's got body weight on me, but he has a lower body that's massive. So, you know, I just don't like to throw around shade, as the young people say, about dudes who are jacked at an old age, because I know what's possible after 40. And The Rock has far better genetics than me, and he trains all the time. He has professional chefs that prepare all his food. That dude don't cook for himself. So he's got the eating down pat. He probably sleeps good. Sure, he's on at least probably testosterone replacement therapy, and someone probably, you know, he probably has a dedicated doctor that stays on top of that and his blood work and all that stuff. I can't hate him for that. So, you know, I don't want to see him die at 60 by any means, but, you know, if he's got someone watching him, he'll probably be all right. So, you know, I say stay jacked as long as you can, as long as those medical tests are showing that you're healthy. Why not? So I know he gets a lot of hate, but it is what it is. I don't. So just on John Cena. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you give it one of these. I hope you subscribe, and I hope somebody sends me in some more questions, because I'm basically out. Unless you want me to share hand size stuff, which I hate. I mean, I don't know what else I'm supposed to cover unless I'm going to bring it up myself. All right? All the best for your training, everybody. Take care.